Okay, today I'm going to maybe not review but rather have a first impressions of a really flexible light modifier, which is this. I have to see what is the real name. Is Manfrotto Pro Scrim all-in-one kit L, which means large. It is 2x2 Scrim, but actually there is a diffusion, bounce, white and silver, and also black flag, so it is very flexible modifier. And mostly I want to prove you can operate it yourself like one person. A lot of people struggle with this, so maybe I will struggle too. I opened this today, got some first impressions. Of course, as always, I bought it with my own money, so it's not sponsored or whatever. I would probably buy a different one, but here in Poland there is not much choice regarding the Scrims. So instead you got Glow 8x8, which seems to be better deal than this one, especially in terms of how this opens, because this one, I will show it in a second. What are the cons of this one? So I got two stands because you usually mount it on the stands, and most important, I have gaffer gloves and I have a ballast, like how much? Around 60 kilograms of the ballast, because 2x2 Scrim is like a sail, big sail. Of course there would be some external noises, but I cannot help it. So I will see if I can mount it. Not sure I would be able to create any shots with it, like fight the sun or whatever, because I got really like 1 hour to do it. So we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I will record something with it. Maybe I will manage to do it today. We'll see. So what comes in the box is the frame, 2x2 frame, 3 racks, and such clamps. So there's a grip head plus additional clamp to clamp the frame. Not sure that would be visible because I'm shooting 2 really wide frames, but hope you can get it. But basically you clamp the frame with this thing, and then you can angle the whole frame. So guys, I have to start assembling it, and maybe I would put some weights on the stands. So this is 14 kilos, so around 30 pounds. Not sure this stand can withstand it. We'll see. I put it the wrong way. The position of the legs is quite important. One leg should be, I think, perpendicular, or maybe not perpendicular, like should go the same direction as the frame. Anyway, 14 kilos. I will add another 10 to each stand, and that should be plenty. There shouldn't be any wind today, so that's helpful, and at the same time I'm not testing the full risk of building that. Also, I would mount these two on each stand, one on each stand. This way. So I have the main. Actually, the funny thing is that this is Avenger, but I think that the one company owns Avenger, Manfrotto, Joby, and Sackler. Yeah, globalization. Anyway, I have the adjustment screw inside. So outside is the screw that screws to the stand, and adjustment screws inside, because I'm one-man band, so it's easier for me to be inside the perimeter and adjust both. Maybe not at the same time, but it's easier to adjust them when they are inside. If you are working two-man screw, probably this big handle should be outside, so each person can operate it outside of the Scrim perimeter. Unfortunately, it's kind of sunny, that's why I'm wearing sunglasses, and I hope that exposure would be okay. It's for sure okay on this camera. I'm not sure about the other one. Okay, the first con of this is that the frame is kind of pre-assembled and there is an elastic band inside, and these edges are quite sharp, so I think this elastic band wouldn't last, and if the elastic band is broken, then the frame wouldn't keep the shape. So it's kind of strange design, because what I've seen the other ones, first of all, the frame is butterfly frame, so it folds in two on a hinge, and then you add additional pieces, and usually the pieces got some kind of the screws, or there is some other mechanism to keep them together. And here this is just one elastic band that keeps them together, and when you mount the Scrim, then also the Scrim keeps it together because it is mounted to the frame inside. But this elastic band, I think it would be first point of failure. So I don't know if this is very, very rugged. Anyway, I'm also wearing the gloves, because if I pinch my finger inside this, I would be pissed. So it's kinda strange to assemble this, although outside it is much easier than inside. So you basically follow the mounting points, and it's like kind of like a frame to the pop-up tent. So that was quite fast, I'd say, although there is some play in the frame, because this is kept by the elastic band, which is, I'd say, it's kind of weird. Anyway, now I have to screw this into the stance. You probably won't see it, maybe on this camera, but there is a screw. I put this into the jaw of the mount, and I screw this lightly. Then I have to adjust the other stand. $30 kilos. Maybe. And it started to be kind of windy, which is good, because I want to check if you struggle assembling this. So actually so far no problems. I've seen people struggle assembling Scrims, and their Scrims are flying around, but I think they make a mistake putting the rack when it's not mounted to the stands. But I think that's the main mistake. Okay, I'm screwing in the frame. I shouldn't like tighten, because I can the tube is, I don't know if it's aluminium or steel. They say aluminium, I think. Well, probably it is. So now the thing is that I cannot raise it high. I have to do it step by step. So with two people you can raise it at once on both sides. When I'm alone it is a bit annoying, but okay, so the frame is assembled. Whoop. That wasn't hard. And another cone is, so it's going quite fast, so maybe I would be even able to record something. And then there are racks, and another cone is that for other solution you mount the racks with the bungee cords, small bungee cords with a ball, and here you got hooks. So these hooks are made of plastic, and I think they can break over time, especially if the plastic gets old. That would be brittle and can break easily. And also the hint is that they give you 2 spare hooks for each rack. I think for each rack I just unpacked this one, the diffusion, so they know that they break, and if you break at least 2 then you're kind of screwed. Probably it's hard to get the spare parts, but anyway. Oh, so I think I made a mistake raising it too high. Yep. So I have to lower this again. That's the struggle of the midgets. I should be able to do it. So the rack folds in halves each direction, so it is 1/4 of the size. And to attach it, I just attach the hooks to the frame starting on the top row. Now I can raise it. You can see there is a wind because it's moving, but it's not that bad. And the jaw have to be actually in the middle of the frame. It's not, so I have to adjust it because there is a stick inside of the frame, so the jaw interferes with it. So I will move it down. The gloves, I should have them. And I guess same here. So basically the jaw of this mount should be on the joint. It kinda is. So I don't know. Anyway, you can see how this is like a big sail. And another thing is that there is a elastic band in the middle of each side, and actually this elastic band keeps the rack tense, so keeps the tension in the rack. So if the elastic band is old, then also you won't have a tension in the rack. Another con. So it is assembled, it was quite fast, and I haven't got any struggle regarding putting it up, although it's not very windy today, so that was probably helping. And the hooks, even though they can break, they are much faster than bungee cords. With bungees that would be really annoying to set up. So this is also a pro. The hooks are also a pro because they are quite fast to set up. They just click in place. And now the frame is kept with the kept together with the internal elastics and with the rack itself. So that shouldn't disassemble itself. And I guess it's kind of sturdy. Maybe I would move it to more windy part of the backyard later, but I guess it was like less than 10 minutes to, I mean, I'm recording for 18, but I was talking crap. So it doesn't look bad. It's a bit uneven in terms of the jobs, but it might matter if I want to angle it, so I will fix it. So actually this setting is kind of stupid because the sun is to the side, so I'm not able to use it as a scrim in this position. But why this is so flexible? You can use it as a scrim, you can use it as a bounce. There are two colors, silver and white, and you can use it as a neck. 2 meters neck is really nice. You can block whole window with it, you can block the sun, you can block the lights of the ceiling. Although with the lights of the ceiling I would probably go with a bigger neck, like 8x8 or 10x10 or even 12x12. So this is like the minimum size to block the ceiling light if it's bad. But this is 2 meters by 2 meters, so less than 8x8 by more than 6x6. And actually it seems it's the biggest size you can operate inside normal building. I'm not talking commercial or corporate buildings, but just a house. I tried it yesterday and it was like on the edge to be able to operate this, to angle it and move it around. 8x8 would be much harder. But what else? You can use it as a diffusion for the light, so either you can shine through like COB light, or you can shine through the LED panel like Godox F600Bi, which I would do definitely. I would try my Aputure, I would try to bounce it, I would try to go through the diffusion. I can use this as a neck, so like I got infinite amount of scenarios to try. And also you can use it as a diffusion for the sun, because sun is quite harsh. Maybe I would use it in a second, but I have to move it somehow, and it won't be that easy. Probably there is a way to move it, and you can use it overhead also to fight the sun. You can use it as a neck to combat the sun, and you can use it as a bounce if the sun is on the wrong side of your frame. So very, very flexible modifier. So I will try to angle this. Shouldn't be hard. Loosen one screw, another one, and yeah, maybe that. Now it's secure. I can raise it, but with one person I have to do it like that, step by step. And these stands are like the, I'd say, minimum stands. You have to use it. Probably something more substantial would be better, but another section. And since this jaw is quite tight on the frame, you have to do it step by step because you can break the frame. So now I get a shade, but here, so maybe with this angle is better, although this is backlit, so it's kind of stupid scenario. But of course this is, the lens is too wide, so you can still see the scrim. The scrim should be out of the frame. It's also in the frame here, but the purpose of this video is to see how easy it's to operate as one person band, and so far it's quite easy, but there is not much wind, so with much winter condition that might be risky and hardcore. Although let me check, like I doubt it would fall with 30 kilos on each leg, so it is almost 60 kilos, so like 120 pounds. And I can also put additional weight there, like another 20 kilos, so that should go anywhere. Although maybe maybe if this is a really strong wind, maybe that could fly off. I don't know, maybe the stand would break off. Maybe I don't see a part that can break off in the wind. I'm not talking hurricane or tornado, but even strong wind, that shouldn't fly away. So, and also the C-stand probably would be better, because with the C-stand it's easier to put the shot box on the legs, since the legs are like horizontal. Well, here I'm using that part of the leg that I don't know what that part is, but it's under the leg actually, so it's harder to put the shot back there, but it works. So I don't have two C-stands, I have one, and it's at the moment occupied, so maybe I can shoot some test shots with it, with A7 IV. I'm not sure I got time. Kinda. So to disassemble is really the same process. So maybe I would try to record something with Sony. But I have to move it around, so maybe that was a mistake to assemble it that way. But I wonder if I can angle it. Probably not easily, but let me try. Yeah, so again, step by step. The problem is that this stand might break under the pressure of the shot box, but I just want to swivel that 90 degrees. So yeah, that would be much easier to do it with two people. So now if I move it to that side, I can use it in two scenarios: over the head and as a diffusion. And it would be easier, I guess. Okay, so I unscrewed the mount on top, and then this would pivot, so I can, yeah, look, I'm smart. So now I've been able to move it with just one stand, but I move it too far. Yeah, and now I can screw it back. That was a great idea. So actually you can pivot this unscrewing one of the mounts, and then you can move around that stand which is unscrewed, and actually it's quite easy. So lesson learned. So I actually have it here. Yeah, so I will stop recording and try to bring Sony to see what I can get, if I can get better looks with it than the harsh sun look. Although the problem with Sony is that you cannot see the screen. The screen is crappy, so maybe I can use even this one. Anyway, I will stop recording because I know I can handle this alone, which is very good news, although it's not that windy, so I will also test it when it's much windier to see if it's possible to handle it with one person. And I think the biggest mistake people make assembling them is to put the rack before you put it on the stands. So put it on the stands, then put the rack, and there shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so I won't bring the Sony at the moment. I probably don't have time to set this up, but this is the shot without any diffusion or any scrim on DJI Go 3. So I'm backlit or maybe side lit, like the sun is shining here. It's a normal color profile, and on the screen it looks okay, although I bet the shadows are harsh. So let me see how this looks under the screen. Unfortunately, the DJI is kind of wide angle, like I think 20 millimeters or something. So you can still see the screen. It is the maximum height, like 2.7 meters with the hinge, and these stands go to 2.6. But there is also additional element, so it's like 2.7 meters, but you can still see it. But I'm in the shade. I was thinking if I'm able to shade myself with 2x2, judging on the size of the shade, I can shade two people easily, although it also depends how the sun is angled. So if now the sun is just behind me, almost behind me, so the shade is quite wide, like 2 meters wide. But if the sun moves to the side, then the shade would be angled and it would be smaller. So you have to either reposition it if your shot under the sun is longer, or you won't be able to put two people there. So 3x3 would be better, or even 3x3 meters, so 8x8, 10x12, 10x10, or 12x12 would be better in that scenario. But this one is easy to handle for one person, and I can shade one person easily. So if the take is like half an hour, that shouldn't be a problem. But if the take is longer, then the sun would move and would be to the side. So then I can either move with the camera to the side or reposition the screen. So But anyway, definitely this looks better, although the problem might be that I'm in the shade and there is still some not shaded area in the shot, so hard to judge on this small screen. Anyway, I will try to use it as a diffusion then. Now I'm facing the sun, the diffusion is to my side, so there is no diffusion and I'm under the direct sun. It is 10 a.m. so this is harsh. Of course, the camera is not set up with the 180-degree angle, so you know it's not blurry image, which is a mistake in terms of the cinematic look, but it's just the informative video, so I don't care in that case. But generally I would set it with a 180-degree shutter. But this is without the diffusion, and now I will move under diffusion to see the difference. So it's not that easy to use it as a diffusion, even though it is 2x2. Look, when I move back, I already have sun on my face. It is like 3, probably 8 feet, so 3 meters and 20 meters high. So that might be problematic. And also when I've been moving this around to this position, I was adjusting the height, one side unscrewed, so you have to be cautious operating this. Yeah, the usual thing that someone have to drill something on cars, cut something and be noisy. Not a problem, but I guess this looks better, much better. Although the problem might be that I'm in the shade, but the building behind me is lit by the sun, so this might not look good, but of course it's not a really important shot. I'm just checking how the diffusion works, and it's possible to diffuse. So I'm as a whole in shade, so my whole body is in the shade, but I'm like 5'10", something like that, so 176 centimeters high. So if the sun goes higher, probably maybe the good idea would be to angle it, because now I have this totally vertical. So probably the good idea would be to put it higher and angle it. So then I would have bigger shade. So another lesson learned. So this is really important to try your gear and shoot with it. But I think that now it looks much softer. It, at least what I see on the screen, it's hard to tell. I got sunglasses, and this screen is not a like real monitor, is tiny, but I think it looks better. So, and you probably see the reflection of the Scrim in my glasses. So the Scrim acts now like 2x2 big light source, and it is I have to say quite amazing. And the whole Scrim is in the sun, because there is also a shadow behind the Scrim, but this whole Scrim is illuminated by the sun, and this is the look. So I bet it's better than what was before. So I guess that's really nice lighting equipment. That's Scrim. I would prefer 8x8 for external shots, or even 10x10. Anything bigger, I wouldn't be able to operate it. I kind of doubt I would be able to operate 10x10. 8x8 maybe 2.5 or 2.4 meters by 2.4. That should be doable. Anything bigger might be problematic for one person band, but this 2x2 is okay, although you have to be cautious because it unscrewed itself already. So once, I mean, it was probably not screwed in properly, because I was kind of afraid to squeeze the frame, that I may break it, but other than that it's quite sturdy. So that's the look, and that's the Manfrotto Scrim all-in-one size L, and I'm quite happy about it. Although if you are in States, You can get Glow 8x8. I think they got same 3 racks, so diffusion, neg and bounce. Thank you. So the other one is better deal because this was like $650 without the tax, and the Glow in state is $399, I think, $400 basically. It's bigger, but I'm not sure about the quality. For sure the Glow's frame uses the hinge, and I'm not sure it's round or rectangular, but the frame seems better, but might be slower to assemble. I don't know. And this is mounted by bungee cord, so the pro is that if the bungee cord break, you can buy bungee cord really cheap, but it's probably longer to assemble. So that's it for the first test of this Manfrotto Scrim. If I'm able, I will put the affiliate link in the description so you can buy it yourself and help the channel. But so far I'm really happy about this purchase. That would be probably the most versatile light modifier I have. So I'll try it inside soon with the COB, with the LED panel and some other lights. So we'll see. Maybe I will be able to create a book light with it, but I will need actually a big floppy to do it. I don't have it, but I guess that's my next purchase. Okay, I would also record the disassemble process, so I guess it's quite important also, so I have to lower this step by step. And the stands are too far away from each other. For some reason I screwed the wrong one. So it's possible to operate it alone. Oh, nice. So actually in that config, now I have to take off the rug without touching the grass to not make it dirty. And it's kinda windy, and there are a lot of bugs on the rug already. So here in the middle is this elastic band, like 10 centimeters or less of elastic band. So if this gets old, actually the rug, if this gets old, actually you might not be able to spread the rug correctly. So then you just fold it in fourth and then diagonally, and I will keep it in this foil bag to protect it from dirt and someone drinking a Coke on the set, stuff like that. And now the gloves, and I will try to disassemble the frame, which is kinda annoying. When I unscrew this screw, I put it into the grip head not to lose it. And now I'm trying to cut the elastic with sharp edges. It's easier to disassemble outside than inside, because there is a lot of room, but the elastic got so tense that it wants to like spring back. You can see it is springing back, so there are velcros inside the case. I guess I will put the heads here too. So less than 2 minutes, like 5 minutes disassembly. It records for 8, but I was moving around. So not bad. And it's quite easy to transport, so yeah. First impressions are really good, except this elastic band and the hooks, but the rest is really nice. So highly recommended, although you have to think about the size. There is also 3x3 version of this, but 3x3 version got only 2 racks and is the same price as this one. So it has diffusion and black rack, no bumps. And there are smaller version, but I think anything smaller doesn't make sense. So yeah, Manfrotto Scrim all-in-one, size L. First impressions are very positive. So that's it. Cheers, mate.